Hi, everybody. Welcome back to English 221. This is for our class for Monday, the 28th, where we are talking about Richard II and also getting prepared to submit our first paper, which will be due on Wednesday, which is the 30th of March, 11:59 p.m. via PDF to my email, ruiz@gcc.mass.edu, much like you've been sending your journals. So, in terms of Richard II, we have been watching a production from the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation. And as you know, I indicated that they've done all of Shakespeare's plays. So, if you are looking for a faithful adaptation of Shakespeare's plays, I recommend going to the BBC. And we are watching the BBC version of Richard II in part because of the complexity of Richard II. And we started by watching the first two acts, and I wanted you to continue on watching that. Keep in mind that this is through Canopy, through the GCC library. And if you are unable to access the Canopy link, please let me know. You do need to have a GCC email, or I'm sorry, a GCC library account in order to be able to do that. And you can also contact the library as well if you're having difficulty accessing that. But basically, I'd like you to watch the rest of Act 2, Act 2, Scene 2, and move into Act 3, Scene 4. So in terms of time, that would be 54 minutes and 45 seconds, which is where you left off last class. And then to move to 1 hour and 43 minutes and 43 seconds. Keep in mind that the performance, beginning with Act 2, Scene 2, starts around line 100 of the actual text itself, if you happen to be reading along while you are watching the performance. And you'll see in the notes below, I have some questions for you to be considering as you are watching the BBC performance and reading the play Richard II, because as you know, performance is never a substitute for actually reading the play. You know that at the beginning, Bolingbroke accuses Mowbray of Gloucester's murder. My question is, why? And also, Mowbray denies that he's Gloucester's murderer. And my question is, why? And then Richard wants Bolingbroke and Mowbray to settle their dispute. Why? Ultimately, Richard then decides on a public battle, and you can probably figure out my question, which is why? Why does Richard cancel that public battle and then give two very different punishments to both men? Mowbray has a life banishment, and Bolingbroke has a banishment of 10 years, which is then reduced to 6. Again, of course, the question is why? Gaunt, which is Bolingbroke's father, on his deathbed basically warns Richard against the dangers of poor rule and then dies. And then Richard seizes Bolingbroke's inheritance and uses uses a lot of the money for funding his Irish wars. Again, the question is why? Then Richard leaves to participate in these Irish wars and entrusts York with the kingdom. Again, why? And then Bolingbroke breaks his exile with an army in order to get his inheritance. And the question, of course, is why? York at first vows to remain neuter as he calls it, and why? And then Richard relinquishes his throne to Bolingbroke. Why? And then ultimately we see the gardeners discuss the country's state of affairs while the Queen overhears. And again, why? So for the attendance question, which will be due on Wednesday the 30th at 8 a.m., and of course, if you need additional time, please let me know. That will be on our discussion forum. Based on what you've viewed so far with Richard III, do you like or dislike the 1978 BBC production of Richard II? And why? So I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. Enjoy the next part of Richard II, and we will continue on next class. Take care. Bye-bye.